Welcome, students, to this week's Spelling Netcast. Let's make sure that we're prepared right now before we begin. Make sure that you have your pencil to write with, glue stick to glue your heading in, scissors to cut with, Ziploc bag to put your word chips in, your journal to write in, and this week's spelling list. If you do not have any of these, or all of these, better yet, go get them right now. Pause the video. Go get them. All right. Hopefully you're back and you've got all these items so we can begin this week's work. All right. Monday night, you guys are working on getting this video done. So you're going to be doing a lay and say with me. And you're going to be writing it down in your journal. And then you're going to do another word sort, or lay and say, better yet, right? And you're going to write it twice in your journal. Okay. All right, let's take a look at this week's words. Here we go. Look how beautiful they are. I'll lower them a little bit, give you a look at all of them. All right. Again, this is week sort 29. We're dealing with the UR, URE, URE-E. We'll go through those sounds in just a few minutes. All right. Go ahead and pause the video and start cutting. Okay, we're back. Let's go ahead and begin, as always, by running a bead of glue across our heading as such. And bam, let's pop it at the top. Make sure it's secure. Again, this helps us stay organized. Sort 29, we're dealing with UR, URE, and UR-E. We're going to talk about what that hyphen represents in just a second. All right, let's go ahead and start with the first exemplar. So go ahead and write UR. And this exemplar, it kind of makes the sound. I'm going to go put an ER just to help you to kind of give you a little hint as to what sound it makes. All right. Our next one is UR hyphen E, and this one also makes that sound. Okay, that's just going to help you to remember the sound that exemplar makes. This one is URE, and this sound is UR, U, and then kind of like over here, but it's got a little extra sound there, doesn't it? All right. So and UR. All right, and we can't forget our oddball. So let's write it down below. And I'm going to give you a hint. There is one oddball this week. Only one. Okay, let's start with our first word. Our first word is curve. Everybody say curve. Curve. Something that twists or turns, kind of like a curved ball in baseball. It doesn't go straight. It moves to the right, to the left. It might break down pretty hard. All right. And as you can see, we've got UR, don't we? And we've got an E. And look right here. We have a consonant that separates the UR from the E. So if you look up here, we have our UR. We have this hyphen, and that hyphen represents this consonant. All right, and then we have our silent E at the end. And again, this sound is Remember the ER? Everybody say curve, curve, Okay. So let's go and write it. See, UR, the hyphen represents the consonant, and then we have our silent E, and it makes the sound. Curve, curve. Sweet piece of cake. Let's bring over our next one. Our next one is the word is sure. Everybody say sure. All right. And this one, we just have a UR and an E. We have a UR and an E. There's no hyphen. There's no consonant between the UR and the E. So this one's going to go under this one. And this sound is you're. Everybody say you're sure. Can you hear the similarity there? So, you're sure. And it's interesting because even though that there's one letter, it takes on the sh, the SH sound. Interesting. Good old English, right? All right. So everybody say sure. This is kind of like if you're sure of something, you're certain, right? I'm sure that I got a good score on my post-test. I'm sure. You're positive. You're certain. All right. Let's take a look at this one here. This one is turn, and we don't have an E in the exemplar, so it must fit under this one here. And this one makes the sound. Turn. Turn. All right. Again, there's no E. All right, let's take a look at this one. Let's do a few more. Here we have urge. We have UR. We have an E, but look what pops in. We have a consonant. Remember the hyphen there? That represents the consonant, so it's going to go under this one. So it's UR, consonant G, and then our silent E. And this takes on the sound. Urge. Urge. Cool. You guys kind of picking up the way this works. Here we have lure, and again this one rhymes with sure, and let's see if it fits the pattern over here. Let's move it over so we don't get mixed up. Here we have our UR and the E. There's no consonant between the UR and the E, so it'll fit under this one. And this one makes the UR sound, like sure. This one's lure. Alright. Not really the U, but it does fit the pattern there, doesn't it? Okay. Alright. Here we have hurl. There's no E involved, so this one can go under the turn. Turn. Hurl. This one kind of takes on a different sound, doesn't it? Earl. Hurl. So I guess it will fit in there. Turn, hurl, earl. Hurl fits. All right, cool. Let's go over to churn. Now let's take a look at the meaning of this word right here. Let's go back and talk about urge. If we have the urge to do something, that means that we really want to do that. So if we have the urge to eat or munch on snacks, then that means that we kind of tend to want to do that, right? So that's what kind of urge means. We have the urge to do it. Hurl. We could hurl a ball. It's the act of it's a motion thing. We could hurl a ball. We could hurl like a discus in the Olympics, or hurl a javelin. It's kind of the act of throwing something, right? Okay, and then we have churn. All right, and let's see, did we talk about lure? Let's talk about lure before we go into churn. Lure has a couple different meanings. We can lure someone to come over and maybe help us. We might need extra help, and we could tell that maybe somebody might not want to do it. They got something else to do, so we have to do something to kind of get them to come over and help. So we are luring them. We're doing something that might catch their interest and have them come over and help. So that's kind of a lure thing. And then we have a different meaning for lure, which is like fishing. There's a fishing lure. It's an actual object that has a hook on it, and it might be shiny, made of metal. Might have some feathers on it that are kind of bright that might catch the fish's attention, cause it to want to come over and bite it. Again, it's called a lure because you're attracting the fish's attention, or you're trying to get someone else's attention to come over and help you, or to bite the hook in the case of fishing. So, alright, then we have churn. And again, this one's going to be the kind of like in turn or hurl. This is going to be chur. There's no E, right? And churn is it's another motion word. And when I think of churn, I think of like a motor might churn, or gears might churn, or back in the olden days, they used to churn butter. So they would move a stick in a container, and the motion would cause the stuff inside to solidify, the fats and the milk to kind of solidify into what we know as butter, right? So churn. All right, then we have blurt. And again, I'm doing a lot of no E, so it would be under this one right here, right? I'm doing a lot of these ones because you guys might not know what they mean, so I want to make sure that you guys do know. And blurt means kind of all of a sudden. It's another action word like churn and hurl and turn. These are action words. And blurt means you kind of say something all of a sudden. Sometimes we blurt things out without really thinking about them, and sometimes it gets us in trouble. Sometimes we blurt out stuff and it's a good thing, like when we're cheering for a team in whatever sport, or it might be a performance. Well, performance, we have to be a little bit better about that, right? We don't want to blurt things out. We have to wait for the appropriate time to show applause or clap or stuff like that. So blurt is more all of a sudden, and we do that when we're at a ball game or something like that. Okay? All right. I'm going to let you guys go ahead and work on the rest of this sort. Do your best. And again, there's only one oddball this week. All right? Have some fun. Get busy. All right. You should be finished with the sort by now, following Mr. Powell's instruction, and again, placing the word chips into the proper exemplars, as Mr. Powell has kind of helped you with already. So once you have that done, again, make sure that you spread your word chips out, mix them up, or spread your exemplars out, mix up your word chips, and then go ahead and do another lay and say. And then make sure you write it one more time in your journal. Remember, because we're doing this, you're not required to do the vocabulary video tonight. We will start that tomorrow night. So again, do the video, kind of a lay and say type thing, right? And then do it one more time. We want you to get off to a good start. All right. Go group cherry. All right. Do your best. We expect great things of you, and get her done.